Hello everyone, I'm Rosaline Moriarty-Simmons, a patron of Flamingo Chicks, and I'm going to read you a story called Cecelia, the Dancing Swan by Rachel M. Hafner. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful swan named Cecelia who lived in an enchanted forest. Cecelia loved splashing around in puddles and staring up at the night sky, wondering how many stars it held. When her older brother Swan wasn't at school, she liked racing him across the nearby pond. Most of all, Cecelia loved dancing. She would make up songs in her head and dance to them for hours at a time. One day, Cecilia's dad came up to her and said, "I have a surprise for you." "A surprise?" responded Cecelia. "You're old enough to go to school now, just like Swan. Your first day is tomorrow," he replied. This was amazing news. Cecelia was so eager to go and learn new things. On the first day, the teacher, Miss Signet, was teaching all the swans how to honk. Cecelia didn't understand what Miss Signet was saying. When all the swans honked, Cecelia was the only one who didn't know how. The next thing she knew, all of the other swans were gathering in groups and pointing at her. Their beaks were moving, but she couldn't hear anything they said. Whatever it was, it didn't seem nice, and Cecelia felt really sad. The next day, Cecelia was moved to a different class. She was puzzled. This class wasn't only swans, like her old one. Soon she met her new teacher, a cat named Mrs. Pickle. "Welcome," said Mrs. Pickle to Cecelia. Cecelia was astonished. She actually understood this teacher. Confused, she asked, "How come I can understand you, but I couldn't understand Miss Signet?" Mrs. Pickle smiled. "That's because you and I and your new classmates use the same language. The swans in your other class couldn't use or understand animal sign language. That's the language that you understand and use so well to communicate, which makes you very special." Pretty soon, Cecelia had a new best friend, a porcupine named Tim, and Cecelia was doing exciting experiments in science and memorizing multiplication tables. But Cecilia's favourite thing about school was dance class. She learned so much that she could take home and add to her own dances. One day, Tim suggested to Cecelia, "You're such a beautiful dancer. You should perform for the whole forest to see." "I couldn't," said Cecelia. "What if everyone points and laughs at me?" "Don't let what other people might do stop you from doing what you love," Tim told her. "You can't control how they act, but you can control how you react to them." "You're right," said Cecelia, convinced. "I'll do it." Cecelia prepared for weeks, practicing her dance. On the big day, her performance was flawless. As soon as she finished, the audience all leapt to their feet, giving her the biggest round of applause. Cecelia was so happy in that moment. Her hard work had paid off. From that experience, Cecelia learned that dancing was one of many ways that she could communicate with others and express herself, and it made her feel so confident and happy to be herself. Well, that's the end of this story. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.